What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Nick's Picks Championship Weekend. Season 6 has been season 6. It's been a season for sure. And we have made it finally to the end with only a 1-point difference. This is going to be a wild ending to a season 6. Will Ben get his second championship?
Yes.
Or will I get my fifth? Let's get right into it. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Nick's Picks. We are in the AFC and NFC Championship. And I mean, this is a season that missed a few weeks that had to be posted as shorts. And then, you know, I was just like, fuck it. I'm done editing. I'm done doing all that. We're going to make it a live show. And honestly, it's been all smooth sailing from there. I can't really lie. It's been kind of nice. Yeah. Well, I mean, a couple of little fuck ups like on the graphic, and I'll get better at the graphics next season, or at this Canva thing next season. I kind of like rough did this, but yeah, I mean, this is going to be.
The good news, you have an off season to get it all the kinks out.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, should be interesting. We'll see how it goes. I keep moving my mouse around. I shouldn't really be doing that, but it is what it is. Welcome in. If you are new, feel free to jump into the chat. You can be a part of our predictions. Let us know what you think about certain games or whatever the case may be. And, you know, you feel free to roast either of us on our predictions, because we're not right a lot, but hell, I would say we did pretty well this year. As far as weird of a year as it was.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely like, I would say the only thing that I can think off the top of my head that we got right was that the NFC South would be trash. But that was like a given. Like, I mean, obviously you did have Seattle as like a dark horse team along with New England. They're
both potentially there.
Championship weekend, potentially to be a Super Bowl matchup. So, and I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, a lot of it was kind of like we knew it was going to happen. I mean, I can remember, I think I had the Chiefs like barely squeaking in the playoffs. I didn't have them missing it, but it was definitely. I definitely would not have picked it.
There's like the smallest amount of like it's not worth you doing anything about it, but there is like the smallest amount of lag between like you talking and like your actual voice coming out. But
dang.
It's all right. It's like once you get going, it's really not noticeable at all. But like the very beginning of your sentences is a little weird. So I'm just gonna put that out there for you guys. Yes, I understand. Ben is lagging. It's really not that big of a deal though. All right. Well,
I don't want to mess everything by like leaving and then coming back, and I know that fixes it, but
we only have 4 games to recap, and we only have 2 games to actually predict. So we're gonna milk these a little bit. We're going to go through these, and the very first game of divisional round weekend that we have to talk about has a lot to talk about.
I was like, I'll let you go first. I know we kind of like texted here and there, but I'll let you take the floor on this one if you want.
All right, well, let's start it off. First of all, congratulations to the Denver Broncos for winning this one 33-30. I mean, there's so many places that there's so many things to talk about with this game. Just a lot happened. So First of all, Denver, they win the game, but then they lose Bo Nix to an ankle injury that apparently happened on the second to last play of the game.
It was like that. Like, was it like QB knee or whatever that was?
It wasn't the knee. No, it wasn't the kneel down. It was when he got tackled. It was the second to last play.
Yes.
Yeah. So can Jarrett Stidham pull a Nick Foles and do the unthinkable and win a championship for Denver as a backup quarterback? On a team that obviously, I mean, the quarterback play has been solid with Bo Nix all season long, but it's not Bo Nix that's the reason that the Denver Broncos are at this point. I feel like that's not really a hot take. I feel like that's just kind of like Bo Nix didn't get them here. Their defense got them here for the most part. But
I was gonna say he still played very well.
Yeah, and well, that's
like,
what I said. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so.
Yeah, so Bo Nix played well. I mean, but if Jared Stidham can just not play horrible, I think Denver has a shot, at least at the AFC Championship. And I guess depending on who they play in the Super Bowl, but I don't know. I mean, it's rough. You know, you hate to see it. That's just really on the Denver side of the football. I really do think if Jared Stidham can play like a serviceable game, Denver can definitely win against New England. And we'll get to that in a little bit as to whether or not either of us are picking that. But Buffalo.
A lot to unpack here.
Oh man, where do you start with Buffalo, man? This is the fifth season in a row, something like that.
Yeah.
Where all the high expectations and okay, so
I'm obviously joking on that.
Where do I want to start? Where do we want to start? Let's start with the controversial call.
Yep.
And let's talk about it all the way through. First of all, Ben, was it a catch? Was it an interception?
No. Interception.
It was an interception. I am in agreement. It was an interception. Follow-up question. Was the Davante Adams catch the same catch?
No. I don't believe it's the same catch because Davante's. I hate saying this.
I hate the rule.
Me where I'm going.
Let's just put this out there. The rule is very subjective and not written very well. But go on.
But by the wordage of the rule, and I hate saying this way, Davante made more of a football move.
Falling to the ground.
Whether you agree,
however you want to word it to make it better, falling to the ground is not a football move, and that's what the Bills receiver was doing. So you have to survive the ground in order to complete the catch.
I will also say
that's the rule.
Whoever the Broncos defender that picked it off, he made more of a catch than Brandon Cooks. He fully caught the ball. It almost like he was the receiver on that catch.
And then Bills fans want to cry about the pass interference later in the game. Was it a pass interference? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a pass interference. Yeah. Does it suck to have it called in that moment of the game? Sure. Was there other missed calls in the game? Absolutely. One of which including a holding that would have ended the game for Buffalo anyway in their own end zone to start that drive. So we want to complain about missed calls that the interception should have never happened because of a missed holding call that would have been a safety and a win for Denver 32-30. So
I want to say, I want to get when the timing of this was. Yeah. So do you remember the very end of the first half? Because I remember very, very well what happened.
Oh yeah.
All
right. Yeah. That's the next topic that we need to get to.
Because I want to get into that real quick.
Let's get into the hard, the nitty gritty, the thing that not a whole lot of people want to hear. Topic.
Josh Allen threw that game away.
Josh Allen lost. Josh Allen lost this game.
Josh Allen lost that game. In the game, the play before half, you're already down 7, and there's 15-ish seconds. You have no timeouts. You're going Hail Mary or hook and lat. You're just trying to get something. As soon as Josh Allen tucked the ball, I was like, okay, they're just not going to score any points. That's going to be the end of the half. No. What decision? And I don't know how many people are watching, but I used to play Pop Warner football. Pop Warner football, if you're running, what possesses you to be because he doesn't fumble by getting hit. He clearly tries to lateral it.
To somebody. Nobody was there, but
an offensive lineman was there, but what's he gonna fucking do? That sets up Denver to get a 3 points right there. Now you're down 10 at half instead of 7.
A big 3 points. Yeah.
And you lost by 3 points. And I was just double checking. If you did not give Denver those 3 points and the rest of the game played the same, you would have won the game by 3 points. Because you would have kicked the field goal to win the game. Because it was 30, you tied it 30. Those 3 points alone caused you to lose that game. Like, other stuff obviously happened. That fumble didn't really kind of put the nail in the coffin, but that's like one where like you can't be down 10 against.
Yeah, and other stuff did happen because Josh Allen had 3 other turnovers in that game.
Yeah.
Besides
not
that
just
fumble.
That one. So if you take that one away, he's okay. 4 turnovers.
So, and I just want to the next topic that's a little bit weird. We all kind of said that if the Bills didn't make it to the Super Bowl, they got to move on from Sean McDermott because, this many runs, they can't get over the hump, yada, yada, yada. Pretty much all the same things that the Bills GM was saying. And that's another topic.
Yeah, well, randomly we do have recent ammo for that one.
So, watching this game made me realize Sean McDermott was never the problem. Never.
I agree.
So, my biggest problem is the recent comments that we've heard. Yes. For the Bills, who was that? The owner? For the Bills owner to get up there and say that Sean McDermott was fired specifically for the results of the game that happened in Denver. A game in which Sean McDermott is the last person I'm blaming for this Denver loss. Besides maybe even calling a play that put Josh Allen in the position to make some stupid ass decision before halftime.
But even then,
that's still on Josh Allen for making that stupid ass decision. So like,
I don't think McDermott said, "Hey, here's the play, run and try allowing it to your 700-pound lineman." That's definitely not going to go anywhere.
And then for him to just straight out call out Keon Coleman, just put him on blast.
Like,
he's protecting Brandon Beane like he's his son. Dude, I think Brandon Beane has just been the problem the whole time.
He has some blackmail on the owner. He has to. I'm not trying to put conspiracy, but he has to. Like, I don't get, like...
I think this is the downfall. I think we've seen
this is the Bills' downfall.
Buffalo's window just close.
This might be a hot take. It depends on who they get as a coach. But I do think that
Phil Rivers.
You
hear that rumor?
I did. Real quick, we're gonna get on a tangent here.
It's okay. We got time.
One clip I saw was like, you've seen The Longest Yard, right? With Adam Sandler.
Yep.
There was the clip where it's like when Josh Allen throws his 4th interception in the game, and Philip Rivers decides to go in the game, and it's like, I'm going in the game.
Dude,
like, I'll take care of myself. I would love that. But anyways, getting back on track here. I still think firing McDermott was the right call, but I also think they had to clean house. Like, it wasn't just getting rid of McDermott. You had to get rid of the GM because McDermott had a stretch where the defense was great. He was a defensive coach. He brought in to fix the defense, and he did that. And eventually, when you don't have the players, like...
Yeah, see, that's just it. We blamed it every year on... There was one year I can remember blaming it on coaching. Them, like, just throwing it deep on 3rd and 1 or just stupid decisions that they made. But, like, beyond that, we're always like, Josh Allen just didn't have an O-line. Or Josh Allen just didn't have wide receivers. Josh Allen just doesn't have a defense. Stuff like that.
Little things.
That's all GM. That has nothing to do with Sean McDermott. So, it's a little, I don't know. I feel like after this game, and watching McDermott get fired, and then watching
them kind of
how the Bills' immediate first couple days post Sean McDermott have been, I'm immediately starting to think that was a bad decision. It's my knee-jerk reaction.
I think it's a bad decision, but I also think McDermott is he's going to find a job elsewhere.
I think he's going to Cleveland.
You know,
I think that's what I heard. But
first off, don't go to Cleveland, Sean. I think his best, I hate to say it, but I think his two best are either Pittsburgh or Baltimore. I think those are the two that if I'm Sean McDermott, if they have interest in me, I take that very seriously. It probably goes Ravens then Steelers because it depends, because you're obviously have to draft a quarterback.
Right.
In Pittsburgh. But I mean, going from Josh Allen to Lamar isn't really a downgrade. But
so, I mean, that's really all we have to unpack on this one. I think Buffalo has still obviously the right tools to be at least back into the playoffs next season. I mean, as long as you have Josh Allen and even James Cook behind him, I think your offense is always going to be pretty serviceable.
They have to get a secondary.
They need a secondary for sure.
Have to get a secondary. Like, if you're gonna have a good run offense, you have to at least have a very good
pass defense.
Like, their front seven isn't terrible. Well, yeah, passing specifically, yeah. But like, you have to get that fixed.
Yeah.
And they haven't done it in the last couple of years. I don't really feel confident. I mean,
right.
The evil empire has returned.
Well, on the bright side, we had to watch this absolute fucking wild game. And then
I love this game.
The game afterwards was very, very, very tame. This was over pretty much. 10 seconds after the kickoff. Seahawks returned a kick for a touchdown on the very opening kick, and they never looked back. I think we kind of knew it all along that all of the injuries and all of the dysfunction of the San Francisco 49ers were going to catch up to them at some point or another. And the real question is, where do they go from here? Because, like, you're kind of locked in with Purdy. You just signed him. So you're kind of locked in. McCaffrey, I know we talked about it on a stream the other day when we were playing Fortnite or whatever, but I doubt, honestly, he does request a trade. I think it's a possibility. I think he should. If I were him, I think this is your time too. But
here I have two things. First, if you trade McCaffrey, if you're Christian McCaffrey and you request a trade, what are your top three teams you want to go to? Like if you're Christian McCaffrey, what are the top three teams that you would say, like, if you had a choice? Like, I feel like they would be somewhat nice and they'd be like, okay, where would you want to go? Give us your picks. Where would your top three choices be?
I hate to say it, I could see him going to Kansas City. They could use a running back. McCaffrey would be huge help for Mahomes. And I'm sure McCaffrey would love the opportunity to chase a ring.
At this point, yeah.
I mean, you still kind of could do that with San Francisco, but I don't know.
With how many injuries that keep happening, yeah.
Depending on the Matt Stafford situation, I don't know if San Francisco would be willing to go to a division rival, but I think the Rams would be an interesting team just to throw that into the loop.
They have him and I'm playing who their starter is right now. I literally have him in fantasy. Kyron Williams. But that'd be still, I mean, that's not a bad thing to have a.
And the last team, just because, and this is just kind of a wild one, and I just want to throw this out there for you. They're gonna get a new head coach. They have about like $70 to $80 million worth of cap going into this offseason.
Fucking God.
And they have a young quarterback.
Swear to fucking God.
The Tennessee Titans, I think, could make a huge.
I thought you were gonna say.
I think the Tennessee Titans can make a huge splash this offseason. So, like, something like I could see them just overpaying. Whether or not that'd be a good decision for McCaffrey is just a whole other story. But, like,
yeah,
I could see that happening.
I definitely think Tennessee has the capital to do it, because I think they have like the third or second overall pick too. Like, they have a top 5 pick in the draft, so they would probably package that as well, which I think is way too high of a price, but I could see Tennessee doing it. I don't disagree with any of those teams. One that I want to hear your opinion on. What if he returns to Carolina? I think that would be because, I mean, not like Carolina's a great team. Like, they're not much better when he left, but as much as I would hate to see him in the division again, I could definitely see it happen.
I don't know. I could see a reunion with Carolina, like when he's trying to end his career, but like Carolina is nowhere near a Super. I know they just made the playoffs, but they're nowhere near a Super Bowl.
No, I agree.
So I feel like if he's going to go to a team that's not chasing a Super Bowl, it's going to be a team that at least still has like a brighter looking future. And I still don't think Carolina has that. But
I do think the other wild card team I think that could happen, depending on how they do it, is I do think Chicago might do it. I think Chicago might.
Right.
I mean, Ben Johnson had Jahmyr Gibbs, and you give him Christian McCaffrey in that system, I think they could do it. But moving to Seattle,
I was gonna say, going off on a little bit of a tangent there, but regardless, I mean, San Francisco. Just to finish off on San Francisco real quick.
Yeah.
Whether or not they keep Christian McCaffrey, I think it's more likely they will than they won't. But
yeah,
you're gonna have him. You have an aging Trent Williams. You're gonna have a recovering, hopefully, George Kittle. Brandon Ayuk is gone. I think they've already established he's not going to play another snap for San Francisco. I think that was word for word what they established. So you're gonna need some more. To make Brock Purdy a good quarterback, you're going to need some more weapons on the offensive side of the football. Ricky Pearsall being your number one receiver going into next season is not going to work.
I mean, he's solid, but I do get what you're saying. Like, I agree. Like,
it's not going to work.
He's not a number one receiver, or at least not yet. I mean, he could be, but
defensively, it seems like this defense always works. So I'm sure San Francisco will be okay next season. I probably won't be. I won't be picking them to go to the Super Bowl or anything like that. But
yeah, it depends what they do. I will say this. This is the last thing I'm going to say on the Niners. If Trent Williams announces he's retiring, Chris McCaffrey requests a trade because he's by far away your best offensive lineman.
He's your only shot at having a good season again in San Francisco.
Yeah. He makes every single other offensive lineman look at least halfway decent. If you lose him, GTFO.
Yep.
Like, you got to get out of there to better yourself.
All right. In Seattle, they score 41 points in this game, and Sam Darnold only throws for 124 yards and only threw 17 passes in this game because Kenneth Walker went the fuck off. Obviously, their special teams scored themselves a touchdown as well. So Sam Darnold is doing everything that, like, we always said that Sam Darnold is never going to win a game for Seattle, but he hasn't had to. So as long as the rest of Seattle's roster can keep carrying this team and not put it all on Sam Darnold's shoulders, like, if any of these games, if the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl comes down to a Seattle last drive of the game, they need a touchdown or they lose the game, and like they don't have enough time to like run the ball as well, like to mix run and pass, like it's on Sam Darnold. He's got to win them the game. I think that'd be the end of Seattle's season. I'm just saying that right now. I feel bad saying that because Sam Darnold has had 2 good seasons in a row, but it's still just how I look at Sam Darnold.
I don't disagree with that. Let's put it. I mean, we'll obviously talk about all the other teams. I mean, everyone at this point knows who's in championship weekend, so I'm not even gonna. There's no spoilers. Out of the 4 quarterbacks, I have to say Darnold is third as far as like who would you have, only because Denver has Stidham, and we don't know how he's gonna be. I would take Drake May over, like on the team right now, like just as a quarterback. I would take Drake May, and obviously I would take Stafford.
But if Bo Nix was healthy, Darnold to be fourth.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, no, literally. Like, and then we can like go even more like
Yeah.
1 through 3. You could like keep organizing, whatever. It doesn't matter. But Darnold's only 3 because of Stidham. Anyways, I digress. This Seahawks team is. I hate saying it because it feels like a cop out. It is probably the most well-rounded team outside of New England. Like nothing against Denver, even if Bonus was healthy, I still think New England is a better, more rounded team compared to Denver, and I think Seattle is obviously the more well-rounded team over even the Rams, honestly. But their Achilles heel is Sam Darnold. Like let's just call it. Like he didn't have a bad season, he didn't have an amazing season. He didn't lose them games. He hasn't won, like you said, he hasn't lost them games, he hasn't won them games. He's kind of just like steadied the ship.
I mean, it's just it's just so hard to argue with the 46 or 41 points without him really having to do anything. It just shows that this offense can do a lot. Hopefully, the Rams will have a good enough run defense for him. But
also, you know that clip where it's like dude on like a truck and he's pushing it, but he's on top of the truck. That's Sam Darnold. Like everyone else is pushing it, but he's just kind of there.
Well, Sam Darnold's not like losing them any games, and that's what's important.
No,
I think. Moving on to another generational collapse of a quarterback in a divisional round weekend. C.J. Stroud did not do you any favors for our first differ from divisional round weekend. I called that word for word. I literally said the Texans are going to lose because of C.J. Stroud at some point in this playoff, and there's literally no one else you can blame it on. Yeah,
I thought it'd be one more week. I thought he could survive one more week. To be fair, let's just call it how we see it. Like, take the score away. If you just look at the QB stats, neither quarterback played great. Drake May just played slightly better.
I mean, it was shitty conditions. So to take a little bit off of CJ Stroud here,
yes,
they were playing in pretty shitty conditions in New England.
Here's where I will still disagree with that. And I know I picked the Texans. Here's where I would disagree with that. There is a lot of throws and a lot of times where CJ, it sounds so weird to say, he looked scared.
Yeah,
he did, and he did not.
Well,
I
was mainly saying that to cop out Drake May, but it was a little bit of a cop out for CJ. But no, you're right. CJ just looked bad. He just looked,
and what happened? Like the fall off of CJ Stroud needs to be studied, because he didn't study.
I think it's I don't know if anything happened. I think he's still a good quarterback.
Yeah.
All the way up until January. And he's, I just don't think he's built for the moment.
Which is weird because at Ohio State, he didn't play terrible in like big, at least to my knowledge. I could be completely wrong on that. To my knowledge, he didn't play.
Yeah, but they always say the difference between NFL players and college players is like night and day still.
Yeah.
So, he was an NFL player amongst college players. Even back then.
Yeah, and now it's like
now he's just against a bunch of people who are just as good as him, and he actually has to live up to these moments, if not better. Yeah. But
the speed of the game is a lot faster, obviously. Yeah, we all know that. But I mean, they stayed in it. I mean, it was only a 12-point game. They stayed in the game. The defense did keep them in that game.
Yeah, and the Texans defense played their ass off. I mean, they did everything they could. The Patriots still managed to put up 28 on them, which I think is pretty impressive, especially given the conditions. But CJ helped a lot with that. So
I was like, I mean, in all honesty, you could argue that they only lost by 6 because one of the scores was a pick 6.
Yeah. Yep.
But even then, like,
yeah,
even if you take that away, CJ still did not play a great game.
No, he did not. And the Patriots move on. They're going back to the AFC Championship. And this is what, like I think it's like the 10th. No, we got to be like close to 15 times in a row now that an AFC Championship game has included the Patriots or the Chiefs. Yeah.
I think it's 15 in a row. I'm pretty.
And we thought this was like the best chance to not have either of them. And the Patriots were just like, guess who's back?
Like I said,
oh my God. I hate this. I hate life. All right. Well,
moving on.
Drake May moves on to the championship round.
was like, before we go, at
CJ
least,
is a bum. Stroud goes home.
We had two shitter mid games with the Niners and Texans not even showing up. But we had a great way to end it, honestly.
We had a great ending, and I have my Slower's not here. Slower's not here, but I can tell everybody this with full-hearted honesty. I mean, I could show the text if we really wanted to, but I'm not going through all that trouble right now. Caleb Williams genuinely impressed Slower on that touchdown, that game-tying touchdown throw. That was one of the greatest throws I have ever seen since the Aaron Rodgers, honestly, both Aaron Rodgers Hail Marys in the against the Cardinals specifically, those two.
Yeah, that one. I know exactly what you're talking about though.
But that throw was insane. If you don't know what I'm talking about after the stream, go Google it. Caleb Williams game tying touchdown versus the Rams. It was insane. Beyond that, looking outside of that one play where Caleb Williams looked like he was Superman, he also threw 3 interceptions. One of which was a very, very, very bad one in overtime that essentially sealed the deal for Los Angeles. And Ben has a few words on that one. We'll get to that in a second. The Bears played their asses off. The Bears had a great season, but I think I saw it from the start, and I know you became a Bears believer, and I will be a Bears believer next season, but I kind of saw it from the start. I think the Bears run had to end at some point. This was not going to end with the Bears hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. It just wasn't.
I do agree.
Because they were not ready. First year Ben Johnson, he still has some kinks he needs to get out. I think he was a little too aggressive at times. He needs to tone that down just a little bit. I think Caleb Williams was a little too aggressive at times. I think aggressiveness was probably the leading factor of that overtime interception. That'll be my take on it before you get your words in. But I think he was getting a little too aggressive, and that's just what happens. So the Bears played a great game. They had a great season. I still stand on the fact that Caleb Williams will have a 4,000-yard passing season at some point, maybe even next season if he can stay healthy for the full year. But it was a good season, but it had to end.
I will full transparency, like with Houston, if they won, even again, I'm going off of like last week thinking that Bonus would have been healthy, or against the Bills. I didn't think the Texans were going to go to the Super Bowl. I didn't think the Bears were going to go to the Super Bowl, even when I made the picks last week. I would have been shocked, genuinely. When it comes to that late interception, and I know how this is going to sound, just hear me out. I don't put all of it on Caleb. I still put it on Caleb because obviously he threw it, and when he threw it, there was
definitely some miscommunication between him and DJ Moore.
And DJ Moore, because it looked like it looked like from outside that DJ either didn't care, or which I don't believe, or there was just straight up miscommunication because he was just jogging at the end of that route. And whether you put that in DJ or Caleb, either way, I still think in that moment he should not have thrown that ball. Like regardless, like you do not throw that ball because the safety is looking at you. Like you just don't throw that interception. I'm not gonna bail him out on it and saying that it was all on DJ and not him, because you still don't throw that ball. Like if you see your receiver just jogging, I'm like, well, that safety is gonna make the break on it better than my receiver. So I gotta either throw it somewhere else, unfortunately either take a sack or just throw it away. Like there's multiple ways you should have done that, but I think the Bears are in a good spot. I think they definitely need to retool that defense a little bit more, because even though they held the Rams to 20 points, I think that was more on the weather, like I said last week, than the Bears defense itself. But that's kind of where I'm at when it comes to this game. It was a very good game, honestly. Like I remember texting you and Slower just like, oh, we'll see what happens. As soon as that throw went up, I'm like, Like Liz and I were watching that game, and she was like, "What?" I was like, "It's like, are you happy?" I'm like, I don't care about the Bears winning. I don't care about the Rams winning. That fucking throw was immaculate.
Dude, I found myself rooting for both teams too towards the end there. Like I honestly really wanted the Rams to win so that I could be in the position that I am going into this game or to this weekend.
But I know you want to know if the Bears won, you wouldn't have been upset.
No, and for my mom too. My mom's a Bears fan. Your dad's a Rams fan, and it's weird. We both kind of had to root for the opposite teams there.
I know that was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Looking at the Rams, just to move on to the Rams here for a second, because they are moving on to the NFC Championship game. This is a team that for a lot of the season we kept saying this is the best team in football. They have the best team. They're winning it all. Now they're kind of going into this as like they were the underdogs in this game. They're going to be the underdogs in the NFC Championship. I mean, hell,
they had a close game in the wild card weekend.
Yeah, they were close against the Panthers, in which a game they shouldn't have probably been. But I mean, we are.
Both games have been a 3-point. Yeah,
they managed to get themselves to the NFC Championship game, and I'm going to say this right now: Matt Stafford has a Super Bowl under his belt, but at what is he? 39 years old right now.
I believe so. Yeah. I'm just double checking, but I believe so. You can keep going.
This is
37, actually.
37.
Actually,
37-year-old Matt Stafford is the best Matt Stafford we've ever seen. We are seeing the best Matt Stafford.
Could you imagine if he wasn't in Detroit?
Right?
What career he would have had? Could you imagine?
Could you imagine if he was on the current Detroit roster? I think they would be playing in this game right now too, instead of LA. But
I don't agree with that. I think both teams got better because of their trade, but that's where I'm kind of at because with those picks, Gibbs and all
that's true. That is true. That is true.
But I see what you're saying. Like if you put Matthew Stafford on this current,
that is true.
I do agree with that.
Anyways, digress. Yeah. So the Rams, we've been talking a lot about the Rams. I mean, they have the roster, they have the quarterback clearly to do it. And I think it's far and away, as you were saying earlier, if you were to rank the 4 quarterbacks that are remaining, I'm pretty sure we both have Matt Stafford at number 1 right now.
Yeah,
because
easily
he's had the best season. It's between him and Drake May for MVP. And to be honest, you look at those stats, I don't think it should be all that close. I think Matt Stafford should run away with this award this year. But you said it last week. This was my number 1 reason that like this was the game that originally I was going to differ on the 49ers Seattle game, if you remember. But the more I thought about it, the less I believed in the 49ers. And the more I was just like, you know what? I have to stick to my guns. And every time I'm looking at a game and thinking about who I want to pick, I always have to look at the quarterback. So that kind of gets nullified when we get into our championship picks, but it's not really my choice. But anyways, but yeah, I had to go with my gut. I had to go with Matt Stafford. I knew the cold wasn't going to affect him that much. I knew he was going to play his best.
Too after the game, they were like, and he said like he's used to the cold still.
Yeah.
Which I will admit, I will back down on that. I will. He did not play terrible. I will back down on that.
Yeah, I knew that wasn't going to be the reason the Rams lost. It wasn't going to be because of the cold weather or anything like that. Did it slow him down maybe a little? But like
not enough.
This was going to come down to who was the better team, the Rams or the Bears. And I think at the end of the day, we found out the Rams were still the better team. Maybe not next season, but this year the Rams are the better team.
Yeah.
We'll see how that translates into Championship Sunday. But the LA Rams move on. Bears go home, and that rounds out divisional round weekend. We get into championship weekend with a 1-point difference. 203 to 202 is the current score of Nick's picks. A long season 6, 405 total points scored out of picks. I don't know how many, like if we had gotten every single pick right throughout the season, I don't know how many points that actually is. But to be honest with you, if I were to put a percentage on it, I would say we were both picking around like somewhere in the high 50s. I think we were getting a little more than half of our picks correct throughout the season.
I
could even be lowballing it. I would say our range, I would say we're anywhere between like 58 to like 70%. Somewhere in that range is how we picked this year.
I think, because there's a lot. I think it sucks because like the early weeks, it's always hard to pick.
Evaluate, yeah.
Like obviously, like the real teams and the real shit teams kind of heading into the season. Like we still felt Buffalo was gonna be a very good team. We still thought that
thought Kansas City was gonna be a pretty good team.
But like, and then like you get into the middle of the season, and it's like, okay, now we're starting to see how teams actually are. We thought the Colts
and even into the middle
good.
of the season, you start to look at teams like the Colts. You look at teams like the Cincinnati Bengals early on, or even the Baltimore Ravens early on, and you're like, they're struggling through. We're in week 5. The Ravens are 1-4. What's happening? Like at some point, the Ravens have to wake up here, right? At some point, Kansas City has to wake up here, right? But another loss, and then so it was tough. This was a tough year. I think it was
a fun year, though.
It was fun. I think this was probably one of the more fun, as far as like watchability, like the entertainment value of the NFL. I feel like this was one of the more fun years in the NFL.
Yeah,
I got to watch Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo beat up on the Eagles before their season got crumbled.
And I got to see Bijan play like 2 good games because my team's ass.
Hey, you were a win against the Jets away from making the playoffs.
Fuck you.
He says fuck you.
You know what? We beat the Bills on Monday night, and we're both sitting on the couch at the end of divisional round weekend. So I don't even care.
Oh man, more trash talk on Buffalo fans.
I'm just kidding. I like five
Buffalo fans need it. Buffalo fans need a wake up call. They've been, I want to say quite Philly. They've been like Cowboy fan bad, not Philly fan, but like Cowboy fan bad.
Well, one of my friends at work, Calvin, because apparently they're also interviewing Mike McDaniel, and he goes, "Give me my coked out Miami King."
Is this my first? Is this my first stream since Harbaugh got signed too?
Yes, actually, yeah, because it was they were in talks of finalizing, and also Atlanta got Stefanski. So
yeah, so we both got the coaches that those were our A and B. So
thank God it was also before Buffalo lost their coach.
I think for both of our teams, we both have the same mindset though. If anyone wants our opinion on this. Does this automatically make the Giants or the Falcons playoff teams? No, but I think it's just it's the first step in the right direction that our teams have taken, at least in our opinion, in the last couple of years. So we're excited.
Also, fuck you, Baker Mayfield. I know you're not watching. I don't fucking care. Talking shit about Stefanski, like, oh, he got rid of me. Fuck you.
Shut the fuck up, Baker.
I love Baker, actually.
And hopefully coming soon, we will have a rebuild video where Ben will take over as Stefanski and I will be John Harbaugh, and we will rebuild the Giants and the Falcons and who can do it better. But the time has come. It is championship weekend, and it is time to find out how this is going to go down. So obviously each game is worth 4 points going into championship weekend, but I am only down by 1 point. So there's only really like 2 ways that I can do this. I can either differ on one and just win it by 3 points. I can differ on neither of them and go for a score like Ben did one year. That didn't work out very well for him.
Well, to be fair, I kind of had to do that.
No, you did not have to do that. You could have just differed on both. You just chose to not because you knew for a fact that one team wasn't going to lose or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think, yeah. It is. Oh, yeah. I do remember that now, yeah.
But honestly, the thing that scares me a little bit is even if I do win the differ, if Ben gets I almost just gave it away there. If Ben gets the championship game, the score right of the game that we don't differ, That'll be 3 points extra, and we'll be tied. So if that is to happen, we will have to come up with a tiebreaker that we both agree on. And I think because the other game is a differ, I think whoever is like the closest to like the winning team score gets it. But like, or should we make like a bold prediction, like go back to the 2-point conversions? Like, how should we do this?
Okay, so you're saying like if I get the score, but you get the differ right?
Yeah, and we end up tied.
I would say if that happens,
it would be 2-0. It would be 210 to 2. Yeah, it would be 210 to 210. That would be the final score.
Yeah, because you would get 4. That would make it 206, and then 4 for it'd be 210 to 210. Yep. I would say if right now my thinking is if that happens, like after the first game, if you get the score, it doesn't matter obviously because because if you get the score. But then I get the difference.
Yeah, I can't get a score. No, so if we both picked the AFC Championship. Right. Yeah. So all right, we're differing on the NFC Championship in this game.
We're gonna call it at this point, yeah.
if you get the score correct for the AFC Championship game, yes, you get 7 points for that AFC Championship game, yes, which would put you at 210. I would only get 4. I'd be at 206.
And then you would get.
And then I would get the differ. I would get the differ correct. I would get 4 more points. It'd be 210 to 210. Unless I get that score prediction right, then I would just win. But
yeah,
that would be crazy.
I would say we
need to. We're only. It's probably not going to happen, but we need to have this figured out just in case.
Because anything can happen. I would say. I think. Whoever, this is tough. I want to say better point differential, but like I don't know. To be fair, I will say I know the teams Nick picked. I don't know his score, which we'll get.
I did not do the same score as you for the AFC Championship, so this is on the table. Yes. That's why I'm saying it.
I will say whoever is closest in point differential for both teams. So like let's say
so the point differential.
Yes,
it's different.
Both.
No, actually, I think I might have also done. I think only one of them is different.
So let's say it's. I won't say the teams. Let's say.
What if we both have them win by 3 though?
Fuck yeah, that's right.
I think we both have a 3-point game for the differ.
Let me double check what mine is.
Yours is definitely a 3-point game. I can't look because the only thing it's on.
I have
this.
a 2-point. Mine's
only
a 2-point.
There's no way I did a 2-point game. All right. So if it's 1 or 2, so you better hope not for a tiebreaker because anything over 3 would be me, and your only options are a 1 or a 2-point game.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough. Because we normally don't do this. I don't think this is tough because I want to say. We don't have to worry about it because we've never tied. Well, like tied at this point, I should say, like
right
where it's gonna because we always have the Super Bowl be like just it's a standalone thing. I would say, I mean, I feel like
we can make a prediction at the end. How about this? We make a prediction at the end. Once we make both things, we're gonna do this. Out of all 4 quarterbacks on championship weekend, you're just gonna say a yard total. So whoever has the most yards on championship weekend, doesn't matter who it is, whoever gets closer to that yard total wins.
I like that. I think that's most fair.
Okay.
Because
it's random. Because it's kind of just random. Yeah.
Because getting with scores, even though that's also kind of random, it is going to be so nitpicky on it.
Yeah.
I think that is the most fair and objective way to do it. Because if I get a score prediction right and it comes to that, we got to make this the most.
Like I said, most likely this is not going to come to that, but All right.
have to plan because it can happen.
Let's get into this championship weekend. And like I said, we're not differing on the AFC Championship.
No.
It is the New England Patriots going against the Denver Broncos. Look. Like I said earlier, if Jared Stidham plays a serviceable game, Denver can win. Denver can win this game with their defense alone. They've done it before. That's all Peyton Manning was at the end of his career, was serviceable. And they did it.
Although Peyton Manning serviceable and
I get it, but like
no,
still.
I do get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. I agree with that.
If anything, Stidham could probably make more throws than Peyton could have at the end of his career.
Yeah.
So
Payne was better up here, but Stidham at least has an arm.
But I kind of said it all year. I do think the Patriots are for real. I think the Mike Vrabel signing was the best thing that ever could have happened to the Patriots. They had all of the correct pieces. They just needed the correct coach to put it all together. Sounds like another team I know. So hopefully, but I mean, they put it all together, and I think they're going to make a Super Bowl in, what is this, year 3 Drake May, year 2 Drake May?
This is year 2.
This is year 2 Drake May making a Super Bowl?
This is year 2 Drake May. He's pulling a Russell Wilson. That worked out fairly well for Russell Wilson. He made a few Super Bowls. Weirdly, yes, because Wilson had a pretty good rookie year, and then his second year has, granted, both teams did have a really good defense. I'm not shitting on Drake May, but that is kind of eerily similar if you think about it.
And they won that Super Bowl. I'm just saying. They smoked the shit out of the Denver Broncos in that Super Bowl, but they won that Super Bowl. So we both have the New England Patriots winning this one. Denver has all the right pieces. I think Denver can be back again next season. I think Bo Nix is actually a really good quarterback. I don't think we gave him enough credit this season. He's another quarterback I wish the Giants had drafted, but obviously I'm happy with Jackson Dart, but this could have been a year or two sooner.
If anyone should say we wish we drafted him, it should be me, because we picked Penix over him.
Yeah, that is true.
I want to make that very clear here. I want to get it on video, not through text. We could have had Bo Nix, but we also probably would have ruined him, so I don't care.
Fair enough. So Patriots moving on to the Super Bowl, and who will they play? Because as you know, this is the differ. But by the way, just to point it out there, if this game ends 27-21, then the prediction that we're going to make at the end of this game, or at the end of these picks, will matter. So only if this game ends 27-21 will the predictions we make at the end matter. And also if this next game goes in my favor. So let's get into that. Who picked Seattle and who picked the LA Rams? Ben, you want to do the honors?
I'm going with my dad's team.
He's going with the LA Rams, which honestly I am thankful for, because this entire week, ever since Seattle won against San Francisco, and I watched the first half of the LA Rams versus this Chicago Bears game, I literally said to myself out loud, yep, Seattle's going to the Super Bowl. I know what I said about quarterbacks. I know what I said about Sam Darnold earlier, how he's not the better quarterback. He's probably the worst quarterback outside of Stidham in this championship round weekend, and Matt Stafford on the other end, the best quarterback championship round weekend. They also have a great receiver, Puka Nacua. Kyron Williams, is he there? Is he hurt?
There, yeah.
He's still there? Okay.
He's still good.
Kyron Williams is a great running back and all that, yada, yada, yada. This Seattle Seahawks roster from top to bottom is outstanding. And it came out of nowhere. This defense is absurd. And I just want to point out the two games that they played each other this year. Seattle wins the first matchup, right?
Nope.
No, it was the other way around. It was the other way around.
I have it right now. Rams won 21-19 in LA.
Yep.
And then
in a close game.
And
then the Seahawks
second
won.
One in that overtime going for 2.
Yeah, and I don't know. Those games, if anything, just prove to me that Seattle can put up with good quarterbacks. Like, they don't need Sam Darnold to be a hero. They don't need him to do anything spectacular. And they haven't had to do it all season. I think this Seattle Seahawks roster is just buzzing right now, and they are super hot right now. They got hot at just the right time. And like I said, I watched the first half of that LA Chicago game, and I just out loud, I was like, LA, I know the weather, like maybe it was slowing them down a little bit, and I'm not like the weather in Seattle is going to be a whole lot better, but like,
He's played in Seattle.
LA can't move the ball downfield fast. Like they would, all their drives are very slow, methodical drives. Seattle plays a very, very fast game. And if at any point early on in this game, Seattle jumps out to a lead, that is super bad news for LA. Super bad news. So that's why I'm going with Seattle. I do think LA is going to keep this close. I do have it a 3-point game, like I said. But I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks.
I was just kind of just looking through just on ESPN, just from the regular season. The number one total offense was the Rams, and the Seahawks have. Let me do the math. 1, 2, or count 1, 2, 3. A top 6. I'll just say top 5, but it's very close. So this is going to be offense versus defense, and the Rams don't have a defense to sneeze at either. Because when I briefly looked, they had like a top 10 defense, like statistically last year, or not last year. This, you know what I mean. And I know how this is gonna sound because I picked against Stafford, and now it's like, oh, now you're picking with the. I didn't think that Stafford would have like an abysmal game. I just thought the cold would have slowed him down, which I think it still kind of did. But what he showed in that game is what you said to me and why I should have picked the Rams over the Bears, which is he has such a veteran leadership that should not be undermined. I'm not saying, obviously Darnold has been in the league for a while too. I'm not saying he can't be that leader, but this Rams team, it is riding with Stafford, a 37-year-old quarterback, like we just said. Like, you got Puka, you got Devontae Adams, you got Kyron Williams, you got a good O-line, you got a very solid defense, especially up front. Like, that front four for the Rams defense is very, very good. The secondary is suspect, which I do think Seattle is going to attack. But I gotta go with my dad's team. I gotta go with the Rams. This is, I think, and it sucks because I hate bringing attention to it because I mean, Sim could have a good game, but I think this is, I'm so glad that this is the night game because I think this is a perfect, unless something happens, which I hope doesn't for either team, I think this is going to be the best game to head into the Super Bowl. Whoever wins, I think this is going to be the best game heading into Super Bowl Sunday.
I don't want to give away my pick, and obviously opinions can change between now and then, but I think this almost might be the Super Bowl.
Yeah. We get a rematch no matter what. You get a rematch of I think it was when Seattle that really shitty play call, and I have one where it was a really shitty Super Bowl in general with the Rams and Patriots. Or we could see Seahawks, Denver. That could be an interesting one. That'd be a very defensive game, I think. Which, if you like that, I'm not gonna shed on you for that. I
think if it's Seattle, Denver, I think we might see another Seattle mauling. I think Seattle might maul Denver again.
Another belt to ass special.
Yeah.
I will say, regardless, I would be happy. Even obviously, I want to win for pride. I would be very happy with either of our Super Bowl picks being either Rams, New England, or Seattle, New England. I think that is like, I hate saying best.
I think it sums up the season. I think it sums up the season pretty well. All right. Well, that is it for the championship round picks, and now like I said, if the New England game ends 27-21, and I do get that Seattle game correct, we both need to just pick a number that we think will be the highest passing yard total of a quarterback championship round weekend. So you don't have to name the quarterback, but just whatever you think the highest passing yard total is. And since you have the lead, go ahead and give your number first.
I'm going by each quarter. I know we said not to name a quarterback, but I gotta think, like, I don't think Stidham's gonna have an amazing game. I also think Drake May is going to, but I also don't think either quarterback needs to. It's so I feel like, also side note before I say my number, I'm pretty sure we both kind of think that it's most likely going to be Stafford that does this.
Most likely, but I guess you never really know what happens. There could just it could be a mauling. The Patriots might just absolutely kill Denver and May goes off for Drake, 400
300 plus, yeah. Which could happen. But I think I'm going to be somewhat safe. I'm not going to go over the 300 mark. I'm going to say 285.
285.
I think it's gonna, even though I have a high scoring game with I had 30 to 28 with Seattle and LA. I think that's going to be like also with the run game. So I think Stafford's still going to be very, very well, but I think, well, I'm just saying Stafford in general, but I think any quarterback in general, I think 285, just under 300. I think that's a good number for me.
Well, you're going just
put in my notes.
You're going just under 300. I was thinking of going just over 300. I am going to go with the lovely 315. I'm going to go 315 is the amount that for the highest yardage total. I think there's a good chance it's Stafford. I think Darnold could do it too if they really need him to.
I think it's whoever's in the NFC Championship, I think, is doing this.
I mean, you throw like a little halfback screen to Kenneth Walker, and that's an 80-yard touchdown right there, potentially.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of Darnold magic there, but
he doesn't have to throw over.
Yeah. And same with Drake May. I think Drake May could do it as well. Stidham, if Stidham wants, it
could happen.
Like I said, if Denver's to win this game, Stidham's going to have to throw for 315. So we'll see. We'll see what it is.
I'll say, yeah.
We got two chats. Amber is both of them. She doesn't know how to spell. She doesn't know how to spell, so I'm going to read this exactly how she wrote it. Ben is going to loose as always. It's just how it happens.
I am very loose right now.
You're very loose, apparently. Ben is going to loose as always. It's just how it happens. And then she also gave her prediction. She went a little lower than all of us. She's saying the highest passing yard total for this week is going to be 240 yards.
I could see that. I won't, because I could see this being, because like I said, with all four teams have really good defenses, so I could definitely see it being under 250. I could definitely see it.
All right. Well, Ben.
It's time.
It's time. Ben's also, favorite part. Yeah.
I opened up the lunchbox. I wanted to show you the Lucario coin that I got, which is kind of cool. It's shiny. Nice. I love it.
I got my Charizard one still sitting here, the full metal one.
That's a cool one. I really want to get that one.
Got to get the UPC, buddy.
Meow.
No.
I must be financially responsible. Ding.
All right. Well, as you guys know, we are giving away a mystery Japanese Pokemon slab to somebody in the comments as soon as we hit 500 subscribers. So in every video or not every live stream, but every video and every Nick's Picks, we open a Japanese Pokemon pack. Sometimes it's English if we're feeling lucky. But we have some Mega Dreams still that we're going through. The newest, soon to not be the newest. I think there's another Japanese set coming out like very soon. But the newest Japanese set to come out. What? Did it drop already?
Or maybe it drops next week. So no, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We have Mega Dream, a set that's not even out in English yet. That is coming out actually pretty soon too. I think that's also this week or next week.
I think it's like a slow launch. I think it's like a little bit this week. Thankfully, when I come back from vacation, I can get more.
All right. I know there's a pack trick to this. I don't really remember what it is. I think it's 2 from the back, but we're not even going to bother with it. All right.
I mean, once you see the hits, you'll be good.
Let's get it going. Try to get this to focus. All right. We got a Duskull to start us off.
Hey.
Or, yeah.
There it is. No, Dusclops.
Dusclops. That's what it was.
Yes.
We got a Stunfisk. Stunfisk.
Nice.
We got a Skunk. Oh, it's the Galarian Linoon. Zigzagoons. Linoon. Yeah.
It's one of the ones, but yes, it's the Galarian one, yes.
We have an Urshifu, some sort of Urshifu. Not sure which one it is, the fighting one.
Yeah. No, and that's the fucking doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. All right, our first holo, which I've learned there's a couple holos sometimes in these. First holo is a Weavile.
Ooh, cool.
Second holo is a the sheep double.
Yep, double. Yep.
We have a with the little energy looking thing on it. We have an Archaludon. Hey, all right. I already see what we got.
Hey.
We hit an EX. And then 2 trainer cards afterwards. We hit an EX. It is a Mega Lucario, I believe, or is it? It might just be Lucario actually. EX.
Oh, that's the Mega one, yeah.
It is a Mega. Okay, Mega Lucario EX. Yeah, some of these look like they're from like, especially if you look at these. Like, I'm pretty sure that's just Team Rocket's Weavile from, because you even have the Team Rocket thing in the.
I think they reprinted a lot of them because like there's like the Team Rocket's Mewtwo SIR or SAR whatever that's in Mega Dream, so it's a different design. Which I mean,
right?
I'm not opposed, but it is very weird they do that. I'm not sure that's been a thing or it's a new thing. I just never knew about it.
Right. All right. Well, that is it for Nick's picks. Championship round weekend. All of our picks for the season have been made. It is completely out of our hands now. There's nothing more that we can do but hope and pray that our predictions are correct. Good luck, Ben, for your second championship. And
handshake there.
Yeah, you know, I'm going for my 5th. We also did put this out there privately. We haven't really spoke about it on camera yet. The bet, which for the last 5 years has been chicken wings, I started off with chugging hot sauce and turned into chicken wings, and it's been chicken wings pretty much ever since then. There's a chance we are changing that this season, or going into our Super Bowl picks that will be probably next week. We'll leave it okay, so obviously I don't want either of us to feel like we're copping out or something like that. So if you are to win, would you prefer me to eat hot wings, or I think, how do we want to do this? Like 2 packs of something?
I would say what I was thinking was because I still kind of want to have like either like some I feel like the trivia is kind of, now I want to say like outplayed, but like at some point eventually it's like you're just pulling random stats from like the 60s or something,
right? So
I do want to do away with that regardless.
Yep.
What I was thinking is, and we had to see, because I think you're almost always guaranteeing EX in those Mega Dreams. I was almost gonna be like, if you get an EX or whatever, like I think we had to do something. I want to do something with the packs. I just don't know what. And maybe like the hot wings, but like I think I wouldn't call it a cop out if I win and be like, oh, I had to only do it. You only had to do it once. I had to do it like
5 times,
4 times. Like
4 times.
It doesn't really matter in my personal opinion, because like I do kind of think like even if it was the other way around, like I feel like we both be like, hey, we should probably like mix it up a little bit. I don't know. I really don't know, because like obviously with packs, it's kind of like it's random. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, so, but like if you like if I were to win, I'll get you 2 packs for you to open on Super Bowl whatever.
Yeah.
And if I win, you get me 2 packs to open.
I think yeah.
Just something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll we'll figure it out between now and the Super Bowl special. But just so you guys know, we might do it with the wings. Not 100% sure. We'll see how you guys feel. Drop it in the comments below what you guys potentially want to see. Any suggestions are very well appreciated. But that is it for Nick's Picks championship round weekend. Like I said, all out of our hands. It's all up to the NFL teams now. Ben, any final words before we head out of here?
I dropped it for a second, but I just want to show it again. My Mega Lucario. Actually, kind of funny. This was an omen, I guess, because I showed the Lucario coin and you pulled Mega Lucario. That's actually true. Kind of funny.
That is true. I don't think there's a Charizard
kind of funny.
So that would have been nice, but you know.
Oh, I should have done the fire energy then.
Yeah. Oh well.
All right. But I'm very happy with Atlanta getting Stefanski. We also kept our defensive coordinator, which I do like, because he was probably one of the bright spots. I also forgot that we fired our GM, I think. So like now we still have to find a GM apparently, or I don't know. But Matt Ryan is the president. He's making decisions. So
we'll see how that goes.
Be too upset.
We'll see how that goes, at least until the fourth quarter, right? All right. Well, we'll catch you guys in the Super Bowl special. I will announce the date sometime soon. I'm not 100% sure when we're doing it. We'll probably talk about it right after this. But I'll announce the date sometime soon on YouTube and on Facebook. So you guys stay caught up on that. But make sure your notifications are on so that you catch them out. Drop a like on this stream. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you're dropping in the comments below to get into the mystery Japanese Pokemon slab. And we'll see you guys next week. Let's see who wins it. It's going to be interesting. Have a great one, guys. Peace.
For probably one of the final times.
Bye, guys.